Hello, everybody. Are we online? Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Ethan here from Investing Note. Right, hope everybody had a great weekend. Right, so today is the second week of the index trading rally. Okay, I hear my own echo. All right, guys, hope you had a great weekend. Today we have a special guest here, right? He's none other than Mr. Dan Chang himself, right? Veteran community member and a professional day trading and one of the more popular trading representatives from Phillip Capital. Dan, you want to say hi?
Hey, hi everyone. Hello.
All right, cool. So I think just to give everybody a sense of where we are at, right? So we are actually in the second week of the index trading rally, right? So this is actually a month-long campaign, or rather online event, right? Where we are giving up to $5,000 worth of prizes. Okay, so these prizes include Samsung Galaxy Fold 4, the brand new Samsung Galaxy Fold 4, which costs more than $2,000. Right, we're giving out Nintendo Switches, we're giving out coffee machine, we're giving out headphones, we're giving out vouchers as well. So as you can see, we're in the second week. So for last week, if you can see my screen, we actually get people to vote for how the HSI would actually perform. Okay, so apparently the results were spot on. Okay, as you can see from my screen, right, for day one, our community, 60% of the people who voted from our community actually voted for a short. Okay, and the Hang Seng Index actually closed lower. All right, so on the second and the third day, it was short as well. And on the last day, we can see that more than 70% actually voted for short. And indeed, the Hang Seng Index actually closed 1% down. Okay, so the key question is how would the STI actually perform this week? Okay, so if the people watching have not put in their votes, please do put in your votes. Okay, so all you gotta do is put in a total of 4 votes, complete a total of 4 polls, and you stand a chance to win the prizes. But of course, other than voting, you still have to do a comment. All right. So after voting here, you can click the buttons. You can click comment. All right. So why we ask people to comment is to actually share your views on how the STI would perform with your analysis. All right. So there are actually quite a few participants already, and if you haven't done so, please do so. All right. So without further ado, I pass my time now to Dan, who's going to share with you what's going to happen for the STI this week. And of course, for the people who are watching this YouTube live stream, right, we're also giving an additional $200 Capitaland voucher for people who watch the whole entire webinar that's happening right now, and also after that commenting what you have learned in this webinar that Dan has relate to and shared with us lah. So all you gotta do is scroll downwards and click comment here. Okay, then you'll be bringing forth to our page and you can just comment there. All right, share what you learned and we'll pick the best 5 most enlightening posts. Okay, then you will stand a chance to win this. All right, so then without further ado, I pass the time back now to you.
Okay, thanks, Ethan. Wow, quite a lot of prize to be won,
Yes, super.
Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, afternoon everyone. Thanks for taking up your lunch time to attend this webinar with me. Okay, I really hope that I will be able to add some value to you guys. Okay, for this index trading rally. I understand that there's a lot of prize to be won, and hopefully my sharing will be able to help you guys win some prizes lah. Okay, so without further ado, right? Okay, for those who may not be familiar with me, let me just do a very brief background of myself. So I am presently a reminder with Philip Security or Philip Capital. Okay, I joined them since 2001 and has been there for the past 20 over years. Okay, and I mainly do traditional stockbroking. And in recent years, right, I also start to do security advisory services. Okay, if I'm not wrong, I think Philips Security is the only broking house, the local broking house that provide this sort of service to retail investors. So if you want to know more, you can always PM me. Okay, you can scan the QR code on this bottom right corner, and you can add me to your phone list. Okay, your handphone phone list. Okay, so since 2018, right, I have actually been posting on Investing Note, this active trader club, almost on a daily basis. Okay, I think I only miss a few days. Okay, and you can always find me there. So if you have any queries or anything that you want to share with me, you can always go there. Okay, membership is free. Okay, just click to join. Okay, and the Investing Note admin will approve the membership. Okay, so to find out more about me, you can go to this link. Okay, bit.ly/TTP-DAN, or you can simply link out with me on LinkedIn as well. Okay. Okay, before I proceed, right, I think this one is very important. Okay, so general disclaimer. Okay, this sharing is purely for the purpose of sharing my view on the SDI. Okay, it's not a buy or sell call for any stocks. Okay, it's not an investment to buy any financial product as well. Okay, and the view here is solely my opinion, and it's not representative of Philip Security as well. And also note that DLCs are for SIP, okay, for specified investment product qualified investors only. Okay, so okay, without further ado, right, actually before I move into this SDI, I would like to share with you guys about one question that I've been asked very often in the past I would say past few years lah. Okay, so what happened is that, as you all know, right, I came to this industry in 2001. Okay, so actually from the 2000s to up to about 2015 or 2016, okay, most of my clients are trading the Singapore market. Okay, it wasn't until like 2016 or 17, okay, about 6-7 years ago, where we start to see more retail investors going into these Hong Kong and US market. Okay, probably because those were the time where companies like Alibaba, Tencent, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix are most of the popular brand name around the world. Okay, so every investors want to get a piece of them. So they venture out of Singapore to go into this Hong Kong and US market. So the question that I was often asked is that, is Singapore market still relevant or not? Okay, in today's context. Actually, Singapore market, in my view, it still have a role to play lah. Okay, I mean, it may not be as exciting as the US and the Hong Kong market, but it's still a good market that offers stability and diversity. Okay, then for those who say that Singapore market may be a bit boring, actually not so true. Okay, because the Singapore market do have some counters that have the volatility for traders to trade on. Okay, counters like DBS, Vouchers, UOB, Wilmar. At one point in time, Genting Singapore was quite volatile as well. Okay, and in recent years, right, SGX has also done a good job. They have bringing a lot of leverage product, financial product like DLCs, okay, to inject more volatility into the market, okay, so that traders have more avenues to trade on. Okay, and actually recently, right, I just came across this article. It was about 2-3 weeks ago. Okay, so this is actually in this article is about a forum that was attended by some of the industry insiders. Okay, so there's a panel there. Okay, so some takeaway from this panel is that SDI as of 2022, right, is one of the best performing indices in this region. Okay, later I'll show you why. I actually have a chart in my later slides. Okay, and STI is also one of the most diverse benchmark across the world. Okay, so it's not like skewed towards a certain sector or things like that. Okay, and one very important thing that is very relevant to this index trading rally is that according to this SPDR Jeremy Wong, right, he said that okay, the beauty in index trading is actually that company can come and go, okay, but the index will always be around, okay. The index will change and evolve over time to stay relevant. That's why we have these STI quarterly review kind of thing. Okay, so those that did not make the cut will be put out, and those who are worthy of a spot in the STI will go in. Okay, so and the thing is that to trade index, right? Okay, one of the avenue is actually through DLCs lah. Okay, and as these Marcus from Solgen has put it, okay, index trading has becoming more popular among the DLCs, and this is actually backed up by statistic lah. So what happened is that index DLC now take up about 30 to 35% of the overall DLC volume, compared to previously where it's only 20%. Okay, so index trading has been gaining traction in recent months or in recent years, and I think it's something that it's good that Investino has came out with this investing index trading rally for us to take a look at index trading lah. Okay. Okay, so without further ado, right, let's get into this STI. Okay, we can't talk about STI without talking about Singapore economics. Okay, because basically STI is a representation of the 30th biggest company in Singapore by market cap. Okay, and as we all know, right, Singapore economy is open economy. Okay, so we are easily affected by macro environment. Okay, and I believe most of you have already know about all these. Okay, but I'll just briefly bring over. Okay, so in 2022, right, there is a lot of headwinds in the global environment. Okay, we have, as we all know, okay, there is we are in an aggressive rate hikes environment. Okay, the Federal Reserve has been hiking the rates since, I think, since last year. Okay, but what happened was that this year, right, they actually did a hike of 75 basis points, okay, which is the highest in the last, I think, the last 3 decades. If I remember correctly, the last time where there's a 75 basis point rate hike, right, was back in 1994. Okay, but correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember. Okay, in 2022, right, we have also seen, Russia and Ukraine conflict, okay, where it leads to a surge in commodity price and of course inject a lot of economic uncertainty globally. Okay, and just last month, right, or is it this month? Okay, we have, I believe most of you have read that Russia has actually delayed the opening of this Nord Stream gas pipeline to Europe. Okay, so potentially there might be a energy crisis in Europe coming soon now if they don't if the Russia still don't provide the gas to them. Okay, a resurgence in this China, right, hasn't really helped also lah, because China is having these zero COVID-19 policies. Okay, so we have seen several lockdowns in China, and that has greatly affected this supply chain all over the world, because companies like Apple, like Microsoft or Intel, they all have factory in China. Okay, so naturally when there's a lockdown, okay, it will affect the ripple effect of the global situation is very big. Okay, so these are the headwinds that we are seeing on global environment. Okay, the global market, and how have Singapore been impacted was that Singapore has seen that inflation at its highest in 14 years. Okay, and most recently, right, the MAS has cut our 2022 GDP growth forecast to about 3 to 4%, because they believe that these all these macro factors are not going to go away in the near term lah, at least not for this year. Okay, so but having said that, right, if you notice, right, as I mentioned just now, right, STI is still one of the best performing indexes around the world, or in this region, I would say. Okay, so I pull out the chart of 4 indices, which is greatly followed by investors in Singapore. Okay, so if you take a look, right, the S&P, okay, the Hang Seng and the Shanghai Constitute Index, year to date is all down. Okay, but for SDI, right, although we see some very big movement, right, at the end of the day, from year to date, we are still seeing a gain. Okay, and also, if you notice, right, the volatility here is actually not as small as what a lot of people thought it would be lah. So actually, there is still some volatility in our local market. It's not like it's really very boring. Okay, so if you are day in day out, actually there is a lot of opportunities for you to trade on all this volatility. Okay, okay. So why has Singapore been outperforming the S&P, the Hang Seng, the Shanghai Composite Index? Okay, other than their own internal, the China internal factors. Okay, within Singapore, we also have this government support. Okay, so what happened is that Singapore government has played a very important role in the past 2.5 years in supporting our market lah. Okay, so as you can see, right, if you remember about last year or the year before last, right, when in US, right, when this COVID-19 breakout, the relaxation, I mean the COVID-19 measures, right, the restriction, right, a lot of people are not well received. Okay, so they are not very strictly enforcing the COVID-19 measures there, which lead to a lot of resurgence. Okay, and in China, right, it's the other way. Okay, the control, the restriction is so strict that it has been affecting their economy, okay, greatly. Okay, and Singapore, right, has done a very good balancing act between these two, okay, to bring Singapore from pandemic to endemic. Okay, so just this year alone, right, we have seen some relaxation of border restriction, relaxation of the safe distance measures, and very recently, other than the healthcare institute and public transport, okay, elsewhere is all mask optional. Okay, also, the government has been actively managing the monetary policy, okay, to support the Singapore economy as well, okay, by appreciating the Sing dollar to combat inflation. I think this is one of the most important factor why Singapore market is outperforming, okay, or rather is performing better, relatively better than other indexes. Okay, so this is one of the factors. Okay, so okay, let's take a look at this SDI chart, okay, for the year 2022, because I understand that this is the index trading rally, and we are looking at the prediction of the index in the next, probably this week, the next few days. Okay, so let's take a look at this SDI chart. Okay, so as we move from pandemic to endemic, right? Okay, we have seen a surge in this SDI, okay, at the turn of the year, okay, but it wasn't until that Putin decided to invade Ukraine, okay, and we saw a plunge in SDI, okay, along with the global market, okay. However, even though we dropped so much, right, we are still holding above the year to date. Okay, if you notice here, you're still holding the year to date. Okay, so what was initially thought to be a very quick resolution to this Ukraine crisis, right? Okay, propel the SDI back again, okay, on the uptrend, okay, back to the recent high lah, around here, okay, and this is where the Federal Reserve embarked on this 75 basis point rate hike. Okay, so 75 basis point rate hike is one of the most aggressive rate hike in recent years. As I mentioned earlier, I think the last time we see a 75 basis point was back in 1994. That was like 2.5 decades ago. Okay, almost 3 decades. Okay, so this rate hike story, right, has been impacting on the market not only our market, but the global market as well. And we have seen our STI be dropping and dropping and dropping, okay, all the way, it lasts a few months, all the way to July, okay, where we start to June, I think, June. And this is where we start to see a consolidation, okay. And it wasn't until the recent earnings season, okay, the 3Q earnings season that came in, okay, where we see an uptrend again. Because during the latest earnings season, right, virtually most of the big cap company, they are all announcing better than expected results. Okay, so that propelled these STI back to close to about 3,300 before some pullback again. Okay, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in around this the last 1 month. So if you have been following my daily updates, right? Initially, when they dropped, I thought it was a pullback. Okay, here I thought it was just a pullback because after we just crossed the 200 MA. So when they first came down, I thought it was just a pullback. Okay, it wasn't until that they tried to break up this downtrend, break up the roof of this downtrend channel, and with no success, and they actually came down again, where I started to turn bearish. Okay, it was I think it was my 20th of August market update. So I turned bearish somewhere around here, and initially, right, I thought the bearishness would last all the way to 3,000, 3,100 or 3,150 around this region. Okay, and but last week, right? Last week, okay, I actually mentioned in my Wednesday market update that I might have been there might be a change in view, or the change of my view for this STI. Okay, so what happened was that these STI has been flirting very near to this the top of this downtrend channel roof. Okay, so when they first break out, I wasn't too convincing, okay, because as you can see, there's a long wick here, okay, which means that the demand, the buying strength is not as strong as it seems lah, okay. So I wasn't very convincing, but the next day, right, I see that it's still a higher low, okay, and it's been pushing up the roof, okay. So I thought and at that point in time, right, there were the US market, right, we also see a turn there lah. Okay, basically I think that it's because when these Powell and all the other Fed member has been talking up the rate hike in the last few weeks, they are trying to front load the fear. Okay, so now that the market has dropped so much, and the Fed meeting is coming in the next 2 weeks, okay, it seems like the market over at US, right, is already the rate hike fear is already being factored inside already. Okay, so now what the market is waiting for is actually waiting for the actual event to actually take place, so that they can get the what I would call to get the thing out of the way. Okay, then we might see a rebound. Okay, but as we can see, right, our market actually rebound ahead lah. Okay, so last Thursday and Friday we see a surge up. Okay, and it actually crossed the 20 moving average and the 200 MA as well. Okay, from my understanding, right, for this index trading rally, okay, we are actually predicting the movement of STI in the next few days. So it's a very, very short-term view, okay? And for me, right, I think that looking at this chart, I think it's very likely that we may be trying to test these 3,300 levels lah. That was the previous high back in August, okay? To hit above 3,300, it would be a bit difficult this week, okay? But there might be a possibly next week lah, okay? If the bullishness still persists, okay? But at this point in time, okay, just for the context of this index trading rally, okay, I personally think that STI is looking very good for this week, okay, and probably testing 3,300, okay. And after that, right, whether they will break this 3,300 or not, it really depends. But my gut view is that just to put a just not to sound like a man on the fence, okay, I think that it's very likely that they will break this 3,300 next week or the week after next lah. Okay, so okay, so that's my prediction for these near term SDI. Okay, and okay, besides that, right, I think for those who have been reading my daily update would know that actually I'm not a 100% TA guy. Okay, so other than looking at chart, right, I also look at other things as well. Okay, news driven and whatnot and fundamentals kind of thing. Okay, so I like to share here is something that I don't think you can find in textbooks. Okay, but this is what I can share based on the experience I have as a reminder. Okay, so what happened was that let's take a look at this SDI. So SDI is actually a composite of 30 biggest company in Singapore by market cap, but it's a bit skewed in the sense that these four counter, right, DBS, OCBC, UOB, and Singtel, is already taking up 40% of the index already. Okay, so that's quite a huge chunk. So okay, let me share with you some old stories. So what happened is that a few years ago, or back in those days, right, Philips Securities actually have a whole floor of dealing room. Okay, so we have the whole dealing room for us, okay, before the pandemic, okay, and everyone is trading inside inside this dealing room. So my colleague and I, right, for those who are looking at index, right, usually we'll open up the SDI index, okay, and at that point in time, we also look at SIMSKI as well. So we open up the SDI chart, the SIMSKI chart, okay, along with the DBS chart, the OCBC chart, the UOB chart, and the Singtel chart. Okay, so we actually open quite a few charts here. Okay, and besides looking at the chart of SDI, okay, doing some technical analysis there, okay, we also actually look at the news flow and the charts of all these four counters. Okay, and from there, right, let's say for example, if DBS have a good news or UOB have a good news, okay, we sometimes we can so-called front run, okay, the SDI movement, okay, because we already know that, like for example, DBS 19.2%. So if DBS have a good news, right, 19.2%, there's a 19.2% chance that SDI will go up. Okay, the only, of course, is never a 100% guarantee thing. Okay, so but it's very likely, because unless you're telling me that DBS is the only one that's going up and the rest of the counter all dropping, okay, then it may not hold true. Okay, but in a general sense, right? Well, when we trade this SDI, right, we actually look at these four components as well. Okay, because these four already take up 40%. Okay, so if there's a bad news on, let's say if there's a bad news on the banking sector, okay, so we'll take this into consideration when we look at the SDI chart as well. Okay, so this is what we do in the dealing room back in those days lah. Now, unfortunately, because of COVID-19, our dealing room has become smaller. So, but we still use it. We still use this way at home now. Now that some of us are working from home. Okay, so this is one thing that you all can use it as a reference. Okay, to see whether it works for you as or not. Okay. Okay, for those, right, how to say, maybe some of you may ask, yes, okay, index trading is gaining traction, but how do I trade the index? There is a lot of way to trade the index, and that one of the way is actually DLCs. Okay, DLCs, it may be more familiar to traditional investors who have been investing in stocks only. Okay, because DLC is being traded just like any other share on the SGX. Okay, so the payment, the settlement, everything is as per what stock investors has always known. Okay, so it's exactly the settlement period, the operational part of it is always the same. Okay, so that is a plus point for investors who have been trading just purely equities lah. Okay, so for SocGen, right, SocGen actually have 6 indexes, 6 DLCs. that trade the STI. Okay, the good thing about this thing is that they have actually a 2 times, a 5 times, a 7 times, long and short. Okay, long means that if you think that STI is going to go up, you long. Okay, short, it means that it's inversely proportional to the movement, which means that if the STI goes up, okay, your short DLC will go down, okay, and vice versa. Okay, and there are a few things to take note if you are trading these STI DLCs. Okay, first of all, you need to be SIP qualified. SIP stands for specific investment product. So don't just try to go into the market and try to buy a DLC. Okay, you won't be able to buy it. Okay, you have to take this CAR. Okay, it's actually a assessment to ascertain that you have to pass the CAR in order to trade the DLC. Okay, if you don't pass the CAR, it's okay. You can actually go to the SGX online website to try out a quiz. Okay, the quiz I would say is easy or hard. I would just say that if you have some basic knowledge of financial literacy, you should be able to pass lah. Okay, but if not, then you may need to read out a bit. Okay, so you need to pass the SGX online education to be SIP qualified. Okay, it's also good to know that DLC is actually a short-term trading tools. Okay, short-term meaning I mean I'm not saying that DLC cannot make money if you wait for the long term. But I'm just saying that the way the product is being constructed is actually for short term. Okay, and it's a trading tools. Okay, it's not what I'm trying to say is that if you want, when you buy a DLC, right, always look at the underlying. Okay, you don't look at the DLC chart itself. Okay, because the DLC chart itself has no meaning. Okay, even the buy volume, sell volume, okay, is only for providing liquidity purposes. Okay, it's not a gauge of the demand or supply. Okay, so it's only a trading tools. So let's say if you believe that STI is going to go up, you buy into a long, okay, very likely you will make money. Okay, if you think that STI will go up, okay, and you buy into a short, okay, and you lose money, it's not because you buy the wrong DLC. It's because your view of the STI was wrong. Okay, so it's purely a trading tools. Okay, it's not something that make you make money or make you lose money. They just help you. Okay, they just assist you. Okay, and the good thing about these Soggen DLC is that you can actually have your own leverage factor. Okay, 2 times, 5 times, 7 times. Okay, for the more conservative ones, okay, who want to just try out first, you can always try out the 2 times. Okay, and for the risk takers who think that STI movement is very small, okay, maybe less than 1%, you may want to try a 7 times. Okay, so it's actually up to individual. Okay, according to individual risk tolerance. Okay, and more importantly, right, this is what I stress whenever I trade DLC is that the sizing is very important. Okay, don't over leverage yourself. Okay, always do the correct sizing. Okay, and another thing you know is that DLC, right, work best in a trending market. Okay, due to this compounding effect. Okay, which means that if STI go up 1% today, 1% tomorrow, and 1% the next day, okay, you are likely to make more than 3% times the leverage factor. Okay, because of this compounding effect. But of course, it's a double-edged sword as well. Okay, if you are wrong, your loss may be magnified again, maybe magnified as well. Okay, but the good thing about DLC is that you have a last line of defense. Okay, your maximum loss is your capital. Okay, you won't be losing more than what you have put in. Okay, so that will be your last line of defense. Okay. Okay, so some I'm almost coming to the end of my webinar, but just give me some commercial time. Okay, so in conjunction with this DLC 5th anniversary, right? DLC together with Poems are actually running a promotion. Okay, if you are new to DLC, okay, you have not traded DLC from 1st of March to 6th of March, 2022. Okay, and the promotion period is until 30th of September. If you trade DLC, you execute 5 online trades of any DLCs or 2 online trades of DLC trading in US market, you stand to receive 200 cash credit. Okay, of course, there's TNC, and the TNC can be found on this Poem website, www.poem.com/g/DLC hyphen promo. Okay, so if you already have a Poem account, that's good. Okay, if you do not have a Poem account yet, and if you like to start your investment journey with me, you can always open a trading account with me via this link. Okay, bit.ly/poems hyphen accounts. Okay, or you can just scan the QR code here to open an account with me. Okay, my code is VZ. Okay, so make sure you put down VZ as in your QR code so that I can assist you with all the application. Okay, so well, I have nothing much because STI is, after all, quite a small market. Okay, so I really hope that I have hope my sharing can provide some input to your this index trading rally, and please feel free to comment and participate in the pools to stand a chance to win all the prizes. Okay, so that's it for me now. Back to you, Ethan.
All right, thanks, Dan. I think Dan made a good point. I think a lot of people think that STI is all very boring. It is small, but it may not be that boring, actually, with the
That's
right stocks and the right DLCs. Okay, I think without further ado, our this live stream is pretty short, right? So I think everybody got a sense of how the STI should move in the next in this week, like this, right? So another thing to remember for the people who joined late for this webinar, right? So this webinar is actually part of our index trading rally, which is ongoing from now all the way to 30th September. So just a quick one to share screen again for the benefit of those people who have not seen, right, the index trading challenge, what it really is, right? So basically, we're asking you to sort of forecast what the STI is going to perform for this week. All right, all you got to do is just do the polls here, right? Participate in the polls to see what. Oh, right now everybody is going long, right? 22 votes versus 3 votes for the tomorrow's session. All right, so all you got to do is just put in the votes and actually click comment here to tell us why your analysis is on long or short, for that matter. Okay, so we're giving out many prizes, including a Samsung Galaxy Fold 4 worth $2,400, and Nintendo's features, premium coffee machine, Sony headphones, and luggages as well. All right, so go to this website, right? Just Google, right? Google Index Trading Rally. You probably see this page and you can do the voting. All right. So yeah, without further ado, I'll see you in the next upcoming live stream. Thank you, Dan.
Thank
you,
you,
everyone.
Ethan. Actually, I'm glad that a lot of people are voting for the long, and I really hope the STI can hit the 3,300 that I mentioned, and hopefully help you guys win some prizes. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Ethan. Thanks, everyone.
Right. To the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.